Congregation, if you count, take out your hymnals, turn to page 132. Pure white blood of Jesus.
Hallelujah!
Pure white blood of Jesus run through my veins.
Sing it, Pastor.
The pure white blood of Jesus runs through my veins. Pure white blood of Jesus, I got the pure white blood of Jesus. Pure white blood of Jesus running through my veins. More time. Pure white blood of Jesus runs through my veins. Pure white blood of Jesus runs through my veins. Pure white blood of Jesus, I got pure white blood of Jesus. Pure white blood of Jesus running through my veins. Thank you, Jesus.
Hello and welcome to another day in paradise. Today we're going to talk about the somewhat touchy subject of religion in Africa. But first I'm going to ask you to please like, subscribe, share and click the bell notification. If you look at many of the YouTubers who talk about the African continent, you will notice that there are certain subjects that they talk a lot about. They talk about repatriation, they'll talk a lot about money and survival and racism and that sort of thing. But there is one subject that the vast majority of them stay away from, and that is religion. And there is good reason for that. The good reason is that it causes a lot of friction. It can be quite inflammatory, and it's easy to offend people by talking about it. Now, I wanted to talk about it. I think it's an important subject for us to talk about when we're all grown up adults here, right? We can talk about religion. I have my own religious past, what I'm going to discuss with you about very shortly. I'm going to talk to you about my own religious background. But I want to speak about how it affects continentals more specifically. And I want to talk about it in a very respectful kind of way, okay? So let's have this grown-up discussion. What is my own religious background? Well, I was born and raised a Christian. My mother was a Jehovah's Witness, so my father didn't follow the truth, as they call it, but my mother still is. She's a practicing Jehovah's Witness, so I was brought up a Jehovah's Witness, so I'm a Christian. By the way, a Christian is anyone who believes that Jesus Christ is their Savior. There you go. So I find it necessary for me to say this because I know a lot of people will think, oh, here we go. Here's one of those diasporans who has no faith, who's coming back over here to try and communize us, you know, get rid of our religions, but we will not give it up. I'm not one of those people. I'm one of those people that believes that faith is perhaps needed, especially on the continent. So I don't have any disrespect towards Christianity and Christians. And although I was brought up a Christian, I am no longer Christian. I am, if you can say formally, I am formally a Muslim now. I married my wife, who is a Muslim, and the only way I could put that ring on her finger was by converting myself to Islam. Her father wasn't going to have it. It was reluctant. I hope he doesn't watch this now. It was reluctant because I don't feel you should prescribe yourself to a religion unless you fully commit to that religion, right? I just don't see that it's respectful to God himself for you to be like, okay then, well, I'll be a Muslim because I need to marry your daughter. Yeah. It's not fair. But there you go. It's a situation I was in, and here I am today. But like I said, so I've got one half of my family who's Christians. I've got my wife's side of the family who are Muslims, and we enjoy both what both religions give to us. We enjoy it, and what it has given to me as a person. It's given me the ability to be able to sit here and talk like this in front of 100 people, because that's what we used to do in, I forgot what we used to call it now. We had a study on a Thursday where we used to go back and sort of study how to become preachers in a way. That's what the Jehovah's Witness thing is all about. So I studied the Bible for like 15 years of my life, 3 times a week. So I know Christianity quite intimately, so to speak. Islam, on the other hand, I don't have, although I'm married to a Muslim, and I converted, hence the beard, I don't have that deep, in touch sort of, I don't have anything like that with Islam. I appreciate it, I respect it, but it hasn't been a major part of my life for too long. So that's my religious background. So really, I wanted to tell you this so you know that what I'm talking about here is I'm coming from a place of experience. I'm just not a repat diasporan looking to bash religions. That's not the purpose for this video. Now, in the diaspora, many the Abrahamic religions of Christianity, Judaism, and Islam are not really looked at in good favor by the new sort of woke class of African diasporans. They actually are looked down upon because of where we say we learnt it and who we learnt it from and how it was used as well. It's one of those things. If you read the Bible, if you read the Quran, you'll see a lot of good inside the Bible. You'll see a lot of good inside the Quran, but you'll also see some really dodgy parts, especially in the First Testament. Boy, God was on one, man. God did not mess around in the First Testament. He was all about warring and killing. He was going after people, really. And you got to ask yourself, whoa, okay. The Bible, I thought, was all about love, about God giving us unconditional love. It is not. There are conditions to his love, and it's clearly there in the Bible. From what I learnt, the Bible does tend to contradict itself a lot. And because I learnt a new transcription of the Bible, we've all learnt new transcriptions, okay? Everybody. The Bible's a powerful book, so there were a lot of translations, and when people translated it, the people that translated it were people who had agendas, and that's just the way it is. Okay, it's just the way it is. The Bible in the Old English Bible is going to be different than the Bible that you will get in the Philippines, being read by some Catholic person in the Philippines. They're different Bibles, they're different versions. So you have to be careful. Now, what is the problem? I'm going to start with Christianity first. What is the problem with Christianity in Africa? The problem that I have seen is that Christianity has been it's been changed to a certain degree. Especially in Western Africa, they've sort of, I don't know, they've made money and wealth a part of being Christian and Christianity. One doesn't come without the other. Being a good Christian doesn't come without having money either leaving your hands or making lots of it yourself. I've seen this. I've seen the way those pastors drive around in Rolls Royces. As from someone from the West and someone who was brought up in a religion which is very, very, humble. It teaches you to be humble. So even rich Jehovah's Witnesses don't drive around in big fancy cars. We wouldn't do that. We couldn't do that. We have to be seen as being humble people of God, and that we have focused more of our attention of we've focused more on serving God than serving ourselves. That's basically the way it goes. That's basically the way all of Christianity sort of goes here in the West, except for Catholicism. It's a different thing. I don't know if you've ever been to the Vatican yet, but it's very lush, very beautiful inside, gold chairs and that sort of thing. Man, they'd be right. Those rich Nigerian pastors will be right at home in the Vatican in Rome. Incredible place. So yeah, I think that Christianity, a lot of Christians have used it to as a means of projecting wealth and to find wealth as well in West Africa specifically. I genuinely don't like it as a person who was brought up in Christianity. Humility was everything. We saw Jesus, what he did. I think it was it in the tabernacle where they were trading and making money in the was it the tabernacle? It wasn't the tabernacle, was it? It was somewhere else. Anyway, he got angry, started tossing all these chairs and everything over, and these tables, and getting rid of the money out of the place, because money is not supposed to be a part of Christianity. I'm sorry, guys, okay? I have to say this. It's not a part of Christianity, no matter what you say. Okay? But we need to be aware as diasporans that culturally, West Africa, Africa in general, culturally, there are going to be clashes, okay? And so if these people see wealth as being a part of Christianity, then leave them to it. Let them enjoy it. Let them do their thing. I can see these people and they all look happy. I don't know, regardless of what you say about Christianity in West Africa, when you see these people go to church and they are getting dressed up, they really appreciate it. They love serving God. They love the fact that their pastors are driving to church in a Rolls Royce, and they some people wait all week for this moment to be able to give them some money so they can go inside the church, sit down and just enjoy what they're being taught. I've been there. It's a beautiful thing to experience, and that should not be taken away from anyone. in reality. So I think that's one massive positive thing about Christianity. Now, another thing which I think is a bit of a negative when it comes to Christianity in Africa is Christians believe that the answer will come from God. They believe that the answer to all their lives' woes will come from God. And the thing is that a lot of African people don't understand how industrious and how ingenious they are. They don't understand this, right? They don't understand this because they look at the world around them, right? And in general, in many parts of Africa, they don't see the fruits of their labor being used to build a society with cohesion that will bring them on top of the world stage. They don't see that. Most people are surviving, like most places on the planet. So when a Christian sees something, a Christian in West Africa especially, let's say Nigeria, when they see that something good has happened, they always thank the Lord instead of thanking their own African ingenious power that they have inside them. They don't understand that they do this themselves. It's not it's not Jesus. It's not the Jewish man who died 2,000 years ago. It's yourself. Okay. I have taught. This is the problem. I have taught my 5-year-old. I've taught her that what God looks like. I was always brought up to believe that God was an old white man with a white beard, and I didn't want my daughter to be brought up the same way. So I always used to teach her that God is a black woman. I just said, God looks like you. And I hammered this inside her head. I had a picture on her wall, so every time she woke up, she knew what God looked like. Whenever she says God, she knows who she's talking about. She knows she's talking about a woman. She knows she's talking about a black woman. So, yeah, it's hard for me to see people worship someone who they believe is their God and who is their savior, who in actual fact is, well, even in their own point of view, he is a Middle Eastern fair-skinned man who does not look like them. So those are my gripes with Christianity, and I wanted to talk a little bit about Islam, especially Islam on the continent, because Islam is a very powerful religion. I'm not sure if you've ever studied it, or if you know any Muslims yourself, any real Muslims. I say real Muslims. I'm going to let you know what a real Muslim is soon, a little later on. So I don't know if you know any real Muslims, but Islam is extremely powerful. It can make somebody do things which defies belief, because they believe within their hearts that that Allah is the greatest, is number one. So I'm having to tread real carefully here because I don't want my wife watching this and then it getting through to a dad. It's a dad, really. I don't really want to say this. Anyway, so we'll mush on. So we have Islam is a powerful religion. It can uplift you if you learn the right form of it, because obviously, like Christianity, there are many forms of Islam. I was taught, even before I met my wife, I was taught about Islam by a beautiful woman from Australia who is a convert herself, that the best way to learn about Islam is to learn it from people who are also converts. Because converts tend to take the religion a lot more seriously than those who were brought up within the religion culturally and ethnically. It's sad to say, but that is probably the truth. There are a lot of Muslims that I know who I grew up with, people who are Muslims, 100% Muslim without a doubt, and they will snort cocaine, they will drink alcohol excessively, and this is, in my country anyway, this is the norm. The norm is to have sex with prostitutes. I know so many that do that. I know one guy in the UK who will go to Friday prayers. After Friday prayers, he'll go to Friday prayers with his family, with his wife and his sons. His wife obviously goes to the other side where the women sort of pray. And they'll go out, they'll have something to eat, and then afterwards he will go out just with him and his sons. And they'll drive up to Bradford, they'll drive up to Yorkshire somewhere, and they will have their wicked way with some white chick. They will pay for it and they'll just do it. And this is why I was taught, just, you know, and those guys are Pakistanis, by the way. And this is why I was taught, don't do it. Make sure you learn it from a convert, or even from someone who has been humbled by it, who lives that humble way. And I think this actually is a bit of a problem on the African continent, because especially in the north of Nigeria, most northern Nigerians are poor, and most of them are Muslims, and most of them don't see the light. They don't see their lives as being something that can, I don't know, that they can step out of poverty or anything like that. They just believe that this is the route that Allah has given to them, and they will live their lives that the way it is, and that's it. So be it. You know, that it doesn't empower them to live better lives, to be better financially. It doesn't, and I think it should to a degree. And this is why, you know, I call a lot of those types of people, those humble Muslims, I call them the real Muslims, the ones who have humility, and also the converts as well, the ones that stick to the rules. They're like, we can't do that, you know, you can't do these things. It does not say that in the Quran. You cannot kill somebody like that. You know, I haven't read the Quran from front to back cover. The Bible I've done so many times, but the Quran I have not. So I can't really go deeply into what is said in there. But I know it to a certain degree. I have done some study of it. I had to. And so I know that just like the Christian Bible, it has its downsides. It has its upsides, it has its downsides too. Now, I want to make another video separately about our own domestic, homegrown faiths that have been largely put on the wayside since the introduction of Islam and Christianity onto the African continent. I'm going to make a separate video because I think it deserves its own video. Okay, I'm going to be honest, because I need to do a lot of research on that one, okay? So I'm going to make my own video, a totally new video about that. But I'm really happy that I was able to have this discussion about Islam and Christianity. I believe that there is a lot of good in both of those religions, and that we can utilize the good out of them. You know, if you look at the 10 Commandments, listen, I think it's all good to use religion to calibrate our moral compasses, right? So we know what is right and what is wrong. I don't think it should envelop our lives to the point in which we don't see any way out other than through God. Okay, we should embrace who we are as people. So I think we should start teaching our children that God actually is inside them. It's important that they know this, because a lot of those scriptures, especially those people that come over, you know, those Christians that come over from America, you know who I'm talking about. A lot of their and I know this, a lot of their literature, especially in the Jehovah's Witness literature, a lot of their literature don't have people that look like me in them. They don't. Okay, so yeah, it's important that we are very careful with what we teach our children. Okay, so I'm sorry this video went on for so long. I've been trying to do my honest to God best to try and make these videos shorter. The last few videos were only 10 minutes long, but this one went for it again. But I really had to get this one across. So really, thank you so much for listening. If you've watched all the way through, thank you very much for subscribing. All my new subscribers out there, thank you very much for subscribing. Got some really good content coming up, so keep watching this space. Thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your day. Ta-ra a bit.